In this video, I'll go through adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing decimals. If you're revising, I'll scroll through the questions for you to have a go at first. There's questions 1 to 4, 5 and 6, and 7. Okay, when you're adding decimals, very similar to just adding whole numbers, we just need to make sure that we get the decimal point lined up in the correct position. When we add them, if there's nothing in the column, that means there's a 0. You might want to write it in, you don't need to. So then we've got 0 plus the 4 gives us 4. Then 6 plus 5 is 11. We write down the 1 and carry 1 over. We remember to include our decimal point. Then we've got 7 plus 2 plus 3, which is 10. So put down 0, carry 1 over. Then we've got 8 plus 3 is 11, plus 1 is 12. So we can write down the 2 and the 1 as well. 120.14. When subtracting, again quite similar, just make sure we line up our decimal point. Then we take it away. Starting from the right, 8 take away 1 is 7. Line up our decimal point. 2 take away 7 we can't do, so we'll need to borrow or exchange from the 5, make it a 4. Carry 10 over. So we now have 12 take away 7, which is 5. Then 4 take away 3, which is 1. And 3 take away 0 or nothing. Still leaves us with 3. Number 3, multiplying by powers of 10. So if you multiply by 100, sometimes people think about putting 2 zeros on a number, but that rule breaks down when you've got decimals. A better way to think of it is that you're moving the number 2 spaces to the left, or some people might have learned in primary school to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right. So moving the number 2 spaces to the left, 2 positions, you end up with 417.6. Number 4 is dividing by powers of 10, so we've got 342.9, and we're going to divide that by 1,000. So to divide by 1,000, you're moving the decimal point 3 spaces to the left, or the number is moving 3 positions to the right. 3 because of the 3 zeros, dividing by 10 sort of 3 times. So if you move it 3 times, you end up with 0.3429. You can always check where you've put the decimal point, where it is originally, and count 1, 2, 3, so we know I've done it right. I'm now going to look at the method for multiplying decimals. We'll read through this before trying example 5. So if you're multiplying decimals, your technique is to ignore the decimals, then you do the calculations, you calculate it, you then count the number of digits after the decimal place in the question, and you put the decimal point in that number of digits from the right. And as well, you can check the size of your answer makes sense. So if you had 0.29 times 0.3, ignoring the decimals, that would be 29 times 3, which you can work out to the side to be 87. Then the question has 1, 2, 3 digits that are after the decimal point. So our answer has to have 3 digits after the decimal point. And if it's 87, we need 3 digits, so we'd make it 0.087. Number 5. You would start off by writing that calculation out without the decimal. So I'm going to do 183 times 67. 7 times 3 is 21. Write down the 1, carry the 2. 7 times 8 is 56, plus the 2 is 58. Put down the 8 and carry the 5. 7 times 1 is 7, plus the 5 gives 12. We're then multiplying by the 60, so we put down a 0 and then multiply by 6. 6 times 3 is 18, write down the 8 and carry 1. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49. Write down the 9, carry the 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Adding those together, we get 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1. Then if we look at the question, there are 2 digits after the decimal point. So we need to write out this answer again, but we want to have 2 digits after the decimal point, which means the decimal point goes between the 2 and the 6. Part B, work out 2.5 times 0.6. Ignoring the decimals, we do 25 times 6. 6 5s are 30. 6 2s are 12, plus 3 is 15. Then we need to write out that answer, and we count the number of digits after the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. So we need to have 1, 2, 3 digits after the decimal point. So the decimal point has to go before the 1. So we've got 3 digits after the decimal point. In this case, one of the digits ends up being 0, just because the 6 5s give the 30. But that is 3 digits after the decimal place. However, you would write your final answer to be 0.15, as the 0 serves no purpose. Dividing a decimal by a whole number. Dividing a decimal by a whole number isn't too bad. You can just divide by 3. We know our 3 times tables, so we should be able to divide by 3. 3 goes into 4 once, and there's 1 left over. 3 goes into 17 5 times. 3 5s are 15. 2 left over, and 3 goes into 21 7 times. So if you're dividing a decimal by a whole number, it's okay. So really what I want you to get out of that example is that dividing by a whole number is fine. Doesn't matter what you're dividing. If you're dividing by a whole number, that's good. We can do that. So remember that when we go into this next section. Dividing by a decimal. The method is you get your decimal, you get your decimals in the question, you write them as a fraction, you make an equivalent fraction where the denominator is a whole number, and then you do that division. So if you had 0.56 and you divide it by 0.7, you write that as a fraction. We don't want to divide by 0.7. We don't know our 0.7 times tables. It's difficult to divide by 0.7. If we times top and bottom, numerator and denominator by 10, we get 5.6 divided by 7. As I said in the last example, we can divide by a whole number. That's not a problem. So you can do the division, divide it by the whole number 7, and we get 0.8. Really, really important, you do not change the answer. Okay? You do not change the answer. 0.8 is the answer. 5.6 divided by 7 is an equivalent calculation to 0.56 divided by 0.7. They both give you the answer 0.8. There's no need to change your answer. It's not the same as multiplying decimals. Okay? And then finally, let's go through these 2 examples. We've got 28, and we're going to divide that by 0.04. I don't know my 0.04 times tables. I would far prefer that to be dividing by 4, which means I'd be multiplying the numerator and denominator by 100. So if I multiply the top by 100, I get 2,800 divided by 4. You might want to do that at the bottom, or you might be able to do that in your head. 4 doesn't go into 2, so you carry it over, and 4 goes into 28 7 times, and then 0 is left over. So your final answer is 700. For both calculations, you don't need to write out equals both times, but just to emphasize, if the answer to this is 700, the answer to this question is also 700. Okay, next one, 0.36 divided by 0.9. I don't mind so much that this is a decimal. I'm bothered by the 0.9. I want to make it a whole number. I could make it 9 if I times by 10. If I times by 100, I could make it 90. I don't want to divide by 90. I'd rather divide by 9. So I'm just going to multiply the top by 10. So the numerator now is 3.6. And the denominator, multiply it by 10, becomes 9. So we've got 3.6 divided by 9. 9 doesn't fit into 3, so you carry it over. And 9 fours are 36. So your final answer is 0.4. That's your answer to both. You do not go about changing that.